Welcome to Tile Talk with Christina, Elizabeth, and Marshall.
Your go-to podcast for all things Mahjong. We are going to deep dive into all things Mahjong.
Let's go. Roll the dice.
That's right.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome back. Okay, this is a big one.
I know. I'm really nervous. I haven't really not been nervous, but I am today.
Well, I think, yeah, me too. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm not a historian, right? Like I'm not an expert in anything. And today we are talking about history, particularly the history of Mahjong, obviously American Mahjong anyway.
Yes.
And so this takes some research and, you know, you don't always like what you learn.
Yeah.
And so sharing that information it can be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And we just want to get it right. So
we want to get it right.
Let's just dive right in.
Exactly.
And
okay.
go for it.
Episode 9.
Yes.
Welcome everybody. Okay.
Look at us.
So I typed out a lot because I didn't want to forget anything. So I will be doing some reading.
This is the most number of cards I think
we
we've
have
had.
so many cards.
That's a
today.
thick stack.
It's a thick stack, but we're going to get through them. And it's an important stack. So let's do it. So today our topic is history. Okay.
Yeah.
We're finally diving into the history of American Mahjong. This is vast. When creating our list of episodes, we originally had like history down as one episode, and what a joke. I mean, that was silly. So
we quickly figured out we needed to break it up into.
This is going to be a series.
Yes.
And we're going to introduce new episodes on different aspects of the game's history over time, but we're going to spread them out because some of the topics can be kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And we also want to make sure we're including episodes about playing the game dispersed throughout there. So it won't be back to back, but you'll be seeing more history episodes coming up.
Yeah. Drunk history.
Drunk history. Well, it's not drunk history.
Not yet.
Sounds like a good spinoff.
Maybe by the end of the episode.
But yeah, since we focus primarily on American Mahjong, we are going to begin with the introduction of Mahjong to the United States today. Yeah. Before we get into all of that, though, how's everybody doing?
Y'all, okay, I just came from kindergarten graduation and they opened the curtain and they had them all in. I was not ready. You know, we haven't been at this school before, so I did not know what to expect. They were all in garnet cap and gowns, which were provided by the school. So I had like no idea.
Oh, wow.
So they open the curtain, I lose it like immediately. Like nothing, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Like I lose it completely. And then I have to find him, and then I find him, and then I lose it more.
Sweet boy.
And they sing 2 little songs, and then he walked across the stage and got his diploma.
He's such a big boy.
The principal's hand. He had to wear a suit today.
Oh,
you know
love that.
He asked to wear his tuxedo, and I was like, "That's not appropriate for this venue."
Listen, this man is never going to be accused of being underdressed.
I've got to bribe the other 2 boys with like everything I've got to wear. Collared shirt, and this little dude is like, I'd like to wear my full suit today.
Steals
Friday.
school pictures. Is his suit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
nice.
wears full suit every school picture day.
Yeah, he's pumped about that wedding. Then he was like, "Oh yeah, my tux needs to be clean for the wedding. I understand." Yeah, and I was like, "God." But yeah, just here we go. The end of school. Getting ready to jump into summer and just all the year-end exams for the big boys and just parties for Steele, really. He had like water day yesterday. They had giant water things at the school.
Yeah.
It was insane.
We had a cookout and a water thing yesterday too.
Cute.
And it's going to be, tomorrow is our softball, end of the softball season party. It's just party. So I'm here for it. And I don't mind having all the parties at the end of this because this is such a long month, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the playoffs and the testing and the this and that. Anyway, we talk about this every time. May-December is rough, but it's coming.
Bring on June, baby.
I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all my work done by Friday so that I can just
relax.
Start at least 1 week off. And
Yeah. I'm ready.
How about you, Marshall?
We're doing good. I told you guys before this, my wife took Maud to the doctors today, and she tested positive for strep, and she's got an ear infection in both ears, and It's like, okay. And we're supposed to go out of town this weekend to the beach. And
that's when it always happens.
I know. And she's been asking, she's like, I want to go beach. And we're like, we're going on Friday. And she goes, and I'm like, we're literally going on Friday. And we're like, oh, maybe we're not going on Friday. So, but yeah, same thing. You know, she had her last day of school yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And wasn't ready for that. I was dropping her off and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm very emotional right now. Like this is so sad,
Marshall.
you know? So, I know. And the, you know, they had the water day on Monday and, Aiden made every kid a monogrammed bag.
Of course she did.
Aiden, you got to stop this. You're making us all look bad.
I know. I think the other moms
over there, Aiden.
I know the other moms are like, the hell? How am I supposed to compete with this?
My sister does that stuff, and I'm like, God, like, will you do it for me? And
I know. I was like, I need some stuff too.
I don't know. I've come to appreciate it. We've got a couple of moms in Violet's grade, though.
You were just as guilty.
But then I had these other moms who were kind of going above and beyond what I was doing. And it's kind of nice because I'm like, oh, my kids, it's going to be a great party. I can relax. I don't need to do anything. Yeah. So shout out to Jana. She's one of them. But no, we have great moms, but
that's so sweet.
Listen, as much as we bitch about it, we do appreciate a mom who goes all out for the kids.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's 100%. The best. And the kids appreciate it so much.
They do.
Yes. Really sweet. No, it's been good. We did a big patio outdoor project on Sunday. I enticed my in-laws to come over. Actually, my in-laws to come over, and we removed a bunch of sod in the backyard.
Nice.
It's like
Get ready for your patio.
7 hours of So we rented a sod cutter from Home Depot. Was there at 8 a.m. Sunday morning, and it was a lot of work, but it looks really good. So now we're moving into phase 2 and then phase 3.
Well, once you get the sod out, there's no turning back.
That's right.
You got to fill that hole. So.
I know. I tried to do it on Monday. I was like, oh, let me take the girls out and do a little work, and they were just playing in the dirt and like all this stuff. And I was like,
not helpful.
I'm not going to be able to get any work done, but this is
quite
amazing.
the opposite of helpful. Yeah,
exactly. So we've been good.
Let them enjoy it.
Yeah.
God, yeah. One time I had Steele came home from like a birthday celebration at school, and the mom had made melted crayons and like made crayons letters for every single kid in the class. Y'all. Stop.
No,
just stop it.
I love that. We do that at home sometimes. We take the broken pieces and you put them in like a silicone ice tray.
Oh God, you've done this.
Yes.
This was you.
And somebody gifted me, because I have a wiener dog, someone gifted me like a Dachshund ice cube tray. So we take all the broken pieces when we clean out the crayon bin, and we put them in the little Dachshund ice tray, and then we microwave it.
That's cute.
And then we have all these little
crayons?
multicolored Dachshund crayons.
That's fun.
Yeah,
so
cute.
Aiden tried that one night, and she did, I think, Maud's name. And then I was like, oh, you're going to do it for everybody? She's like,
no.
Hell no. That is way too much work. Like, that was a good trial run. But
We're one and done there. Yeah, I have ruined a microwave doing that type of project before. When I was babysitting at someone else's house.
Oh.
Wow, I feel like ruining a microwave is pretty hard to do.
Maybe that's what happened to my microwave. Oh, Mark doesn't listen to this episode. It was your fault, Mark.
It was Miss Hines. Miss Hines, I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry, Miss Hines. Speaking of Hines. Oh,
yeah.
I love that you said that. Yeah. We'll be talking about another Miss Hines in a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. And how I'm doing fine. But just a heads up, I do have a little bit of a cold and a sore throat. So if you hear me sniffling or tissuing or whatever, I do apologize. Hopefully Marshall can cut that out, but I'm doing my best.
I did my echinacea and vitamin C bombs this morning.
Good for you.
To fend you off.
Thank you.
Don't touch me. I'm just kidding.
You guys need
I
bubbles.
love you. I'll make out with you. I don't care. It's fine. Okay.
No, it's definitely strep or something.
Oh, you and Maud are gonna feel better by the end of the week.
You know what's gonna make me feel better?
Yes. I know. Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's get on with this.
Okay,
right,
first, tablescape. Okay.
Yes.
OMG. We are going to have to add it in a clip of when we gifted Marshall today his very first Mahjong mat.
Yes.
But first, let's talk about ours.
Yeah.
This is from Maj Boutique, and she has been making these beautiful college-themed Mahjong mats, and ours has Renegade on it.
Can you explain a little bit about who Renegade is?
Yes, Renegade is the horse that our Seminole rides in on, and
Chief Osceola rides in on Renegade,
and Renegade is absolutely gorgeous, and this thing looks like hand painted or something.
I know,
this Renegade mat, and it's the perfect garnet and gold. I mean, this. Oh my gosh,
is beautiful.
It's
if
really
you
good.
live in Tallahassee, I ordered a bulk order from her, so I will have some for sale because I know these are going to go fast. They are gorgeous.
Or if you just like horses, because it's not. It does. What I also love is it's not like. FSU,
It's not. No,
It's very
actually,
subtle.
it's not.
It's very subtle.
Class. Well, she's from South Carolina, and all great people come from
only
South
the
Carolina.
classiest
And
ladies.
well, I don't know
That's
about
just
that.
the way.
I do declare, I'm from South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, Maj Boutique really is from South Carolina. She is in Mount Pleasant, and you can visit her website at majboutique.com. Her stuff is phenomenal. She's got stuff other than mats.
Yeah, and
but
it's really nice quality.
It's a beautiful quality.
It's really nice. Yeah,
I'm
I love the tile set that you've chosen.
Yeah, we
with
did
it
a
too.
classic ivory Yellow Mountain tile with, and it, I mean, just looks perfect.
Yeah.
It really does. The garnet really pops on the tiles.
I am loving this.
It looks beautiful.
And this is my first tile set. It's built. So I have this one in the Polly's Island one, and Clint and I play with this one a lot.
Mountain
But
makes
now
just a perfect classic
I'm going to
set.
have to buy one of these from you because this looks so good. I love it.
Yeah,
I
well,
love,
meet me
love,
at my
love.
trunk, girl.
I'll meet you at the trunk.
The racks are the iridescent opal scalloped racks by
We tried.
Miss Mahjong. We did. We put other ones up here, and I'm sorry,
They
this
look-
just
the white was
looks
okay,
the
but
best.
this was perfection. It just
Didn't look
it's,
good.
It's great.
This is the best. But let's talk about Marshall's mat.
Yes.
We got him the Florida Gator mat, and it honestly, I hate to say how pretty it is.
It really is.
Ugh.
I know.
Looks
I
very
love
The
nice.
it.
gator
Yeah.
is
so well
gorgeous.
done.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's very artistic. It's very well done. The colors are perfection.
Yes, I was thinking it was
If
going to
you
be
are a
like
gator.
orange with the little blue, but I love that
Yes.
the blue
Yep.
with the orange accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I was totally shocked when I arrived, and it's awesome. I was telling you guys, I was like, oh, this would be a good like camera gear prep mat, It was
Yeah.
like, but I think we're gonna leave it here. It helps tie in my corner over here. And
Oh, and you have flowers today too, Marcia.
I got
You are
some
the mat
flowers.
man.
I know.
Are these fake or are they?
No, honey,
How
no.
dare you?
I did
What are-
well.
are these-
and I don't mean to be a snob about that. There's great fake flowers, but
Can
no,
I,
these are. I didn't steal anything this week either. These are from my yard. I behaved myself today.
Good
But yeah, these are
job.
caladiums and they're bulbs and they come back every year. Some will come back, not all of them. So I plant some more bulbs and it's kind of a surprise to see who joins you again from last year.
Is it in the elephant ear
Yes,
family?
that's what
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Yes. There
we
Look,
go.
I know
Yep,
something.
it is. And there's lots of different variations of the colors and they have really fun names. One of them is called Frog in a Blender.
Oh dear God.
What a fun
I know,
name,
I
Liz.
I mean, okay, but I get it.
My mom loves that one. I think it's the one on the far end with the green and pink. It just,
It looks like splattered.
Yeah. Frog in a blender.
Yeah.
Gross.
What's this one? The white one.
I don't know. That's the frog in the blender is the only one that really
Is that
sticks in
bunny,
my head.
Bunny in a blender.
No, some of them are more, just regular names. But I thought that was pretty funny. And then
Well, they're
behind
beautiful. Thank
us, my favorite time of year,
Yep.
my favorite flower,
Hydrangeas, baby.
hydrangeas, and they're just starting to come out.
Am I blocking them?
No,
They look real. Yeah, they look
I
awesome.
do. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the soil with the hydrangeas?
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
So the hydrangeas, if you buy them in a store, you can go to you'll see they have pink, white, blue, usually some other little variations they can have. But
Pause.
it's
Wait. This is my moment. I actually know something about this.
okay.
So the color changes
Yes.
based on how acidic the soil is.
Yes.
There you go.
Go, girl, go.
Yeah, Violet and I listened to trivia in
Nice.
the car, so those one.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Anyway, sorry, I had to.
Yeah,
I had to
that's
shine
exactly
for a
it.
second.
And so
That's great.
you can purchase soil products or additives to put in to change the color of your hydrangeas.
That's
So
really
if you
cool.
buy a house and they have pink and you don't like pink,
How cool!
You can make 'em
That's
blue.
exactly why I didn't buy that house.
I think mine are blue in the backyard.
Yeah.
This pink.
I like the blue. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you buy them at a florist or at like Publix or something, they have dyed them after the fact. So
Yeah.
you'll see that that's not
More vibrant.
Yeah, that's not
phony.
it wasn't grown that way. It was dyed that way.
That's so fascinating to me. Are there any other plants similar to that?
I'm sure. Not
Yeah.
that I can think of offhand right now, but I bet. I'm sure. Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting. Yeah. But I love them. Oh, they're only here with us for a little while, but
I know. Yeah.
Soak it up.
yeah, and the next one I think I'm gonna bring all the blue ones. So we have kind of the pinky, purpley ones today, and then the whiter, and then I think next week I'll have the blue. I love that. It's my fave.
That's really
all right.
cool.
Well, let's get to
Yeah.
the
I wonder
really
if you
good
could
part.
do like a rainbow hydrangea, like mix different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or
Well,
does it just like
Probably
the
by
acidity like
a
evens
row.
out? And
No, and I think you can see if you drive around town, you can see even one bush will have different kind of hues of that same color, and it's probably whatever the nutrients it's pulling from different parts of that soil because the hydrangea will grow and spread, and as it grows and spreads,
it's
kind
reaching
of
other soils.
has it has like slight variations. Yeah, and there's a
I
couple
love that.
different types of the shapes of the flowers that are different species or whatever, but the coloration of the generic hydrangea is really cool. I love it.
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
I
we-
thought
Yeah.
that was super cool. I love learning about that.
Yay. I hope I did good, Mom. All right.
Arnie's not listening.
I know. Damn it.
We're like, Arnie, we talked about you. She's like,
Oh, that was so
nice.
Appreciate it.
I think she's on like 4.
Yeah. She's
All
in
right.
of them.
Well, one of these
What
days,
are we
Arnie.
drinking? I need a sip.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So this is again. Thank you so much to Hayward House.
Yes.
We have.
Shout
I
out.
know. And next week we're gonna have a special guest too from Hayward House. We are gonna get Mr. Matt to come. Shake it for
my
us.
man.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Shake it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. So that's
my favorite
something to look forward
bartender,
to.
baby.
But today we have the old money, since we're talking about history and kind of the roaring 1920s of the American society. We
What's
have
in
it's, mezcal tequila, spiced pear, which I'm very excited about. Honey, simple syrup, and lemon. So pretty simple, and it's just over rocks. And then we've got some
All right.
dehydrated limes.
I
Wow.
love the
Let's
dehydrated.
do it. Let's do
I
it.
know.
Cheers. Oh shit, that's delicious.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
I've got to teach later today. So
So
can
can we
take a
buy
nap.
this in bulk from Hayward House?
This
like
is dangerous.
going to the beach this weekend? I'm like,
Yeah, you can work something out with her. I
yeah,
bet.
for real.
it's good on my throat.
It is
That's good.
delicious. And it's it's not like a super complex. I watched him make it this morning and it was like
You
I was
can
like I
taste
could
the
do that.
pear,
I think I
and
could
the
do that.
Yeah.
mezcal
If I had
has
the right ingredients, I could do it. Yeah.
The mezcal has like a smoky note to
Oh,
it.
okay.
Is that what that is? Is it
You
mezcal?
know more about tequila than
well,
I
see,
do.
I'm not a big mezcal fan, but whatever's happening here, I don't know.
It's lovely.
I don't think you eat that.
No, I know. I was just kind of tasting it. Do you guys know how to dehydrate these?
Yes.
Okay. How do you do
No.
it? Microwave?
Heather Heather has a dehydrator and she does it. It's
You
like
have
a
to
stacked
buy
unit.
one.
You have
Yeah.
to buy. Oh, you can't just like put it out in the
I mean,
sun.
It's
I'm
something
sure
you
there's
register
probably
for when
DIY
you're
techniques,
getting married.
but
And if you
dehydrator,
didn't get one, you're too late.
you can borrow Heather's. I don't think she's used it in a while.
But I don't know. I just noticed that they're usually in the drinks, and I'm like,
Yes.
that's a really good touch if you're
Yes.
hosting and everything. It's like
Yeah.
I know. I think
dehydrated. You're like, oh, how'd you do this?
I know, and they last
you
forever.
just buy them
You
dehydrated.
probably can buy them dehydrated, but it'd be better if you did it.
Yeah.
It'd be cooler if you did it yourself.
like mine
Yeah.
organic.
My sister used to do that. She made like a Christmas like strand. Of
Oh,
them,
cool.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's cute.
That was really cute.
Okay, love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is delicious. Thank you, Hayward House.
Yes.
It is really good.
For always hooking us up.
I know.
And this one's going to help us get through this episode.
Well, they also do a great job of incorporating Tallahassee history into their menu and concepts of their restaurants. So I think that also is goes well.
Yes.
It's nice when history is talked about, admired, and learned.
That's right. And I bet history was really nice if you had some old money.
That's right.
If you don't, make the drink instead. All right.
All right, you ready to do this?
Okay. What's blowing in the wind?
Okay. Well, in conjunction with all of explaining the history of American Mahjong, and I bet you guys have seen this, we're going to just go into the kind of the appropriation of the game and the new interpretations of tile design through American Mahjong and how we kind of changed that. And there's been a lot of social media kind of call outs or grievances that you may have seen from the Chinese culture, and just, a bit of pushback and kind of, just create some pause. And I know it's not always easy to hear and see, but it's out there and it needs to be talked about. And it's not necessarily, a bad thing. I think it's just a point to start learning in it and learn more about the game and see where everybody's coming from. Some of the influencers and stuff that you and I have followed to try to kind of learn more about this and understand. One is, and I followed her a long time ago because I love the event she puts on, but the East Never Loses, Angie QQ, and she's actually Taiwanese. But a lot of her stuff, she references like the Joy Luck Club and Fat Joy Spirits, a lot of like modern Chinese culture elements in Mahjong and so she's really kind of I feel like she's pushing the modern boundaries of Chinese Mahjong. She hosts amazing curated events. But she has a lot of poignant things to say about her perception of it. I think it's really cool to listen to her because she's so knowledgeable and just a cool girl. So check her out if you haven't. And then also, we have the Asian American Foundation, the TAF, and it only launched 5 years ago, but they've got some really great stuff just about the whole Asian culture, but they do have some specifics on Mahjong, especially how it relates to family history and culture and the history of the tiles and all. So they have really great stuff to say about the prolification of it. And then Vivica Chow, who is an influencer, she's done a lot of shorts she plays Mahjong a lot. She does a lot of stuff on Mahjong and culture. She's beautiful. And she was a little rough. She's been a little rough.
I know.
But
I don't think so.
It's really about the first one I saw of her, it was like kind of rough on the card, but I understand why. Because, it kind of, why do I need this card to play? I've learned my whole life and I could go and play anyway. And, I think that was, kind of like, wow, it's very different. So
it's a different take.
Yes, exactly.
But I think once you watch several of her like reels on the history of Mahjong, not just the history of it, but kind of the way the Asian community is feeling about what American Mahjong, what it has become and what we're doing. You start to sort of understand that there is so much more to it. So it can come off when you first hear something that you don't like or that makes you uncomfortable, it's easy to become defensive, right? But the more you learn about it, the more you can understand where people are coming from.
Totally.
And I think she does a wonderful job, and kudos to you, whenever you comment or have something to say, she will follow up. She has great conversations with people in her comments. And I think she's very respectful in the way she approaches, her feelings on the Americanization of the game. So she's a great one to watch. What I also love about
she articulates the differences and kind of explains why that feels odd to her she really does a great job of like singling out the differences to her, from her perspective.
Right.
And, you and I have learned so much since we
started.
We've
learned so much. One thing that I love learning from her too, though, I just want to say really quick, is that in so many clips, she is slowly teaching me how to play traditional Chinese Mahjong.
She did. There's one where she like teaches you in like 45 seconds. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I need a little more, but I'm like, okay, I like get the gist, and you and I both want to learn pretty soon.
We've been talking about learning. We want to learn several versions of Mahjong.
Yes, Ricci.
Yes. So this is at the top of our list, and now the bug has bitten thanks to Vivica.
Yes.
And we have got to learn. I mean, just honestly, the sound of the tiles that they use, the bigger tiles that they use, is so much more appealing to me, honestly, and the way that they stack and build the walls. I mean, I could just watch her do it.
I know.
Over and over again. Oh, I get like
we gotta learn.
Thinking about it. So anyway, thank you for sharing all that with us, Vivica. And thank you for sharing it with everybody. I think this is important stuff to talk about.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing today. That's why we're here. Yeah. We think this is awesome, and the more you know, the better you can do. Yeah. But going for like. I was like about to say, you and I learned so much since we started, and I feel like that's why we're here. But I just really sense that people are just like, there's more to this story, and, please acknowledge it. And, as you were saying, Mahjong is so tied to Chinese culture, philosophy, and history. And the tiles alone exemplify this. We have from the Chinese cosmology, from the winds and the seasonal flowers, summer, spring, and then the Confucian values of the dragon and arrow tiles, and the Confucian flower tiles. There's 4 Confucian flower tiles. And the suits are also derived from the Chinese coins and numerology. And so it's so specific to the culture. Yeah. And so, we need to know that, if we're playing with these tiles, I think it's really important to know the origin of it. And then,
right. And there are a lot of people who are learning, and I'm guilty of teaching on tiles that don't relate to any of the traditions of the original game. Right. And so, I've really started to consider teaching the game on classic tiles, because when I do teach, I include history of the game and how it began in China and everything. And I love to highlight that. I think that's very important. And I think that's one thing that makes the game so special. And it's important to know.
Yeah.
But
and I think
the classic tiles can add an extra element of really connecting to the traditional game, right?
Yes.
And then to play for fun, I don't want to say how anybody should play or what they should play with.
Right.
That's not my place. I want everyone to enjoy the game the way they want to enjoy it. But I think when learning, perhaps learning as much as you can about the traditional game.
Well, and important. I think if you learn on a traditional tile set, as I did, I think it helps you navigate to any other set, because you have the base reference point, which all of it kind of should be, inspired by, at least. It can help you learn random sets that people have, because the basis of what they're pulling from. So I think it can help you play with any tiles if you know the original traditional Mahjong.
So I learned
motifs
on Oh My Mahjong tiles, and that was a great way for the person who taught me to then sell the tiles, because I needed some. But after playing with something so bright and colorful, I was like, well, I want something like that too. And that's, for teachers who buy into something like the Oh My Mahjong teaching program, you want to make your money back. And that's one way that you're making your money back. That's an expensive kind of program to sign up for. So that was one way that I also kind of made my money back from that initial investment.
Right.
Do I care so much about selling products anymore? No, I feel like that was exciting, and I'm here to help anybody navigate what they're looking for. But honestly, when people come to me, they tend to know more about a lot of the products than I do. And I kind of feel like I'm not doing my job. But there's so many out there, and to each their own. So I don't want to get into that yet. But I do want to just say I've come to appreciate the classic traditional tiles.
Yeah. Yes. And, I play online a lot. We talk about that. And usually I guess you can probably pick a different tile set. I don't, but you're playing with the traditional set. So I am also very used to that. It feels comforting to me, Sometimes when you're playing with brand new tiles, you're like, I don't know what that means. Yeah. What is that, a flower? Is it a choker? I'm not sure.
And not to say I don't love a crazy, fun, exciting, new, beautiful set that matches this or that.
Right. Or the Alice in Wonderland set that our friend had.
There's
crazy.
I mean, listen, you see the tiles on here, guilty. Totally guilty.
But to your point about teaching and the education of it, I think that's the most important part, and kind of honoring and respecting the legacy and the origin of it. And then, now you can tailor it to whatever your, personality is, right? Yes. And again, tie it into different themes and stuff. And but understanding and knowing is Marshall. The base of it all.
Yeah. And then I can add that extra element of teaching the history of the tiles and what the images mean and what they correlate with.
Because that's a whole nother episode.
It's a whole episode.
And I'm so excited about that one.
Do you think it would make it easier teaching in terms of remembering and stuff?
It could.
I think
it definitely could. What it definitely will do, like Elizabeth said, is make it easy to recognize then other types of tiles when you know the traditional ones.
Yeah.
Because it should be all be kind of based
so
off
having that strong foundation, so tying in the history will kind of help.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it. Strong knowledge foundation, tile foundation, everything. And that's what's really gonna elevate everyone's
explaining
game.
the seasons on the flowers and the numbers on. There's so
Right.
much more. There's so much more versatile, the traditional tiles, and you can play other versions of Mahjong with them, which you can't do with a lot of the.
And I do wish that the tiles were interchangeable. I wish that you could play.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest
And some of them are.
Right.
Some
and
of them are.
We could modify the American our tile sets, taking the jokers out. And if you could probably do something about the flowers to indicate which is which, or there's things you could do to make American sets play Mahjong. But if you played traditional Mahjong, that set to American, you would have to get extra tiles.
Yeah.
And it's
Gotcha.
It doesn't transfer.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, regrettable, but
yeah.
But also,
we're learning. And now that's something I'm going to look for in my tile sets,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Especially if I'm learning different versions.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
We're doing it.
I volunteered to be your first student with this new, emphasis on the kind of education component around it. I mean,
Great.
it could help me, learn it better.
Do it, Marshall.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm teaching tonight, and I always give a good beginning portion of my lesson to history.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one of people's, now they feel invested in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? They feel like they're doing something special, and they are doing something special.
And it's storytelling. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the human element. You have to put some stakes. It's like, okay, why was this game created? What was the surrounding, era around it? And it just it allows you to connect to it a lot more.
Mm-hmm. And that Marshall, I'm glad you said that, because it really goes a lot with what Christy and I were kind of talking about. It's like the draw of the game, why people love this game is for the whatever, iteration of the game you're playing, it's the same pull. It's that community, the friendship, the bonds, that part of the game is why we fell in love with it. It's the challenge, but also the camaraderie and the community that it builds and the familial play. And I think that is the same across the board. And that's the important part.
That's exactly right.
I think that's what we're here to celebrate.
Spread.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing that it's survived so long. You know what I mean? Like, and
it's a special
evolved
game.
in different ways. But that same thing, the fact that it ties you to history in terms of kind of being this artifact, essentially, where the same game was played however many years ago.
Right. Well, and has this ability to connect you to all different people, all different cultures across timelines.
Yes. Breaking down barriers instantly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we want the game to be.
Exactly.
Right? Not causing divisiveness, which we've seen a little bit of as of late. And so that's why this episode is important. I think it's important to sort of set the framework from where everybody's coming from. And really get down to the true history of Mahjong and American Mahjong anyway. And
we are not here to really debate this. Like, we are in no way qualified to do that. Like, we did feel like this was a good kind of forum.
This is not a political episode. No. We are not here to even give our opinion. I mean, do we have opinions? Yes, but we're here to just sort of give you facts. We are going to just feed you straight history.
Yeah.
Right?
As a journalism degree holder,
yes.
Let's put our journalism hats on.
That's right.
And we'll dive into it.
Maybe we shouldn't video them and be like, ugh. My opinion is ugh.
No, I think this is the episode we worked the hardest on for sure, because of
and what we realized is that this is going to be multiple episodes. Yeah. So we're really just touching on it. We're going to give it to you in doses.
Yeah.
I like it. Before we dive in, do we want to do Manly Minute? I mean, I just feel like it kind of gets forgotten.
Yeah, we need to lighten the air a bit before we dive back in.
I don't have too much.
Bow,
That was rough. Okay.
It's a tiny one. All right, John.
I know. That's the other one. I know. I do it for Matt Bernier sometimes.
Okay, we got NBA playoffs going on again. We touched on that last time.
Okay, it's still going on.
Great. Honestly, the West Coast series, OKC versus the Spurs.
Okay.
Incredible. They went into double overtime the other night. and San Antonio won in OKC. Game 2 is tonight, so highly recommend checking that out. New York and Cleveland are on the east side of the finals. And
the Knicks?
The Knicks. And Cleveland was beating the Knicks by, I think, like 30 last night in New York, and the Knicks came back.
Clint was talking about that.
Yeah. So I went to bed, but I guess, it was a crazy finish. So
yeah, I was working on this.
Both games, are really, really good, both series. So be entertaining there. And then, we got college baseball again. But yeah, I mean, summer kind of sports style dies down. Speaking of America and China, we had President Trump, visiting China.
Yes.
So I don't know if they took out the Mahjong mats there, but I didn't see any photos. But yeah,
maybe somebody taught Melania Mahjong. It'd be great.
She ain't got time for that.
But yeah, that's about it. Summer is an interesting time in terms, for me, it's like sports are very manly minute, stuff. And it's like we're dwindling on sports.
I don't want to hear about golf.
Soccer. We have soccer coming up.
Yes,
World
that's
Cup.
right. We do have the World
Cup.
Up. Yeah.
And something interesting there, my dad sent me an article and it was about, I fly drones, for my business and, the drones that have been used in warfare, the FPV drones.
Yes.
And he was saying that, there's, apparently everybody's very concerned about drone attacks potentially at these stadiums because they're so unregulated and, and all this stuff. And that was something I didn't even think about, I was like,
I had not either.
Gosh,
now I'm terrified. Thanks,
I know.
Marsh.
So I was thinking about going to a game in Atlanta, but it's also like, it's $1,000 to go see this country. And it's like,
right.
Really? It's like, so
I know. It is so expensive. I wish it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah. I'll watch it on my TV.
Yeah. That's cool. I went to Atlanta for the Olympics in the 90s with my parents. That was so
nice.
cool.
That was fun.
I was there for Carrie Strug. I was in the audience when Carrie Strug on a broken ankle.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I'm a little.
You can do it, Carrie. You can do it. She was the gymnast, the little gymnast that had a broken ankle. She had to like double flip and landed it in one foot and made it. And they won the gold. It was like
she had a broken ankle going into the.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And she landed it?
Yes.
What did the coach say?
Go Carrie.
You can do it, Carrie. You can do it.
Was he American or Italian?
That I won't forget.
No, he's a gymnast coach. He's not American.
I was in Brunswick at the time, so we got to see the torch pass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I love that they run it all around. That's so cool.
I know.
Cool.
Okay, we've procrastinated long enough.
I know. All right. So, yes.
Here we go.
Do this.
All
All right. So, listen. I'm going to preface again by saying we're absolutely not historians. We're not cultural experts.
Right.
What we are is curious. We want to be respectful, and we want to invite you to listen and learn with us.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's start by setting the stage. Yeah. What is happening in the 20s in the U.S.? Immediately, we think roaring 20s, right? We think prohibition. Which leads to speakeasies. We've got the flappers.
Gatsby.
That's where I would be a bitchin' flapper.
Yes,
I'd really that. I kind of I might have missed. I would have been like the 20s or the 80s. You know, I missed my era somewhere.
Yeah.
In
Some good decades right there.
I need a decade with, I always say, good music and no social media.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's a lot of them.
60s,
70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so we also
But we're in the 20s.
Yeah, we also have the introduction of like mass production and mass consumerism. Think Henry Ford and his invention of the assembly line. So now we're mass producing products, which lowers the price. So consumerism skyrockets.
This is also old money and Robert Barons and Vanderbilts.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. There is also a huge rise in racial violence, a resurgence of the KKK. And, you know, they're not only targeting the Black population. Remember, they are targeting Jews, Catholics, immigrants in general. This is also a time where there was a rise of immigration quota laws. So immigration quota laws, we are going to go back to this. Remember that. This is also the jazz age. Yes. You know, not us during that period oppressing Black people and simultaneously exploiting their music. But speaking of, we also see the introduction of Mahjong. That's right, in 1922. So When discussing the history of American Mahjong, the name Joseph Babcock comes up a lot, and for good reason. He certainly played a huge role in bringing the game back to the U.S. after discovering it during his time doing business in Shanghai. He's also responsible for creating a rule book that simplified the game for Americans and marketing the game.
Yeah.
So did Babcock dumb it down for the American audience?
Basically, yes.
Yeah. I don't think they're smart enough to, and I get it with the marketing aspect of, selling something.
Oh, he's in here somewhere. I have a copy.
He might have fallen.
Oh, well, whatever. So I actually found a copy of his little red book. Here it is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's Babcock's Rules for Mahjong, the Red Book of Rules. Let's see what year this is from. This is the 7th printing, March 1923. It's the game of Mahjong. So doing this episode has made me want to go back and read this because, listen, this man is going to need his own episode.
Yep.
We're calling him Bad Boy Babcock. Not my favorite character in the history of Mahjong. And it's crazy to think about him and the way that he introduced Mahjong and the way he marketed it here in the U.S. And had we gotten a version of American Mahjong or had Mahjong in this country without him? Absolutely. And potentially a different version we would have been playing. But of course, what he has done then leads to the National Mahjong League. And it just kind of snowballs to where we are today.
Right.
So for the Mahjong that we know and love, we appreciate him for that, but also could have gone about it much, much differently. We'll touch on some of his methods of marketing a little bit later, but I don't want to spend too much time on him in this episode. Bobby. This isn't really about him so much, but like I said, he could potentially get his own episode at some point. Bad boy Babcock. Bad boy Babcock. Okay, so let's go back to the rise of immigration quota laws. Yes. In the 1920s, more of these laws were introduced, but the first ever federal law passed to ban a specific ethnic group from immigrating to the U.S. was the Chinese Exclusion Act. Okay, and this was in 1882. It was the first time the U.S. closed its borders for like one particular nationality, which is so crazy to think about. And what is crazier is that it lasted from 1882 until 1940.
Right. And that took me aback. Like,
yeah.
I had no idea
why though it ended in 1940. Well,
we needed some help.
Yeah, World War II.
Yeah.
We needed the Chinese help against Japan. So selfishly, the ban was removed. But let's go back to 1924. Yes. Like that year, almost all Asians were restricted from entering the U.S. Crazy.
Was there any active deportation going on, or was just the exclusion of any new entrances?
So actually, that's a really great question. I'm not totally sure what the answer is. What I do know is that basically there was a ban from entering the country, and then people who would leave who were even considered U.S. citizens by birthright or whatever, they would not let them re-enter. So listen, there is so much history when it comes to the Chinese Exclusion Act.
There's a great documentary on the Chinese Exclusion Act
it's
on
called,
PBS.
Yeah, it's called The Chinese Exclusion Act, and it's on PBS, and it's gut-wrenching, but it's a must-watch. I mean, if you want to know history, it is a very in-depth history of what was happening, and it's kind of gross.
It's American history.
It's American history. It's part of us.
We don't have a pretty history, you know. It's like I think as we all evolve, it's like you said with this,
messy.
It's like.
But I think
we have to look back at it. Yeah, we can't cover our eyes.
Well,
we have to understand
we want
and
to
evolve.
do this. Let's explore the 1920s so that we don't fall into the same problems in the 2020s here. What can we learn?
Century later,
and do better.
Yeah.
Let's take.
You hope that we learn from history, but
that's why we're here. Let's do it. I'm
you
learning. You're learning. We're learning.
Have hope
that
we will.
That's right.
So.
I do.
That's what I've got.
Personally, I've learned so much, and I think I'm so thirsty for it, and it's really improved my whole perception. And I feel like I hope that that's what everyone listening takes away from this as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so
why
the
Christina?
Chinese Exclusion Act? Yeah,
Why?
what triggered it?
Yeah.
Well, surprise, surprise, the Chinese were scapegoats. Jobs were becoming scarce. Wages were declining. Chinese immigrants were willing to work for lower wages.
1929, Great Depression.
Right.
The Great Depression,
Yeah.
but they came over, basically, we brought them over to help us build the first transcontinental railroad.
Yeah.
And they crushed it. I mean, they built the railroad from coast to coast in I think it was 5 years. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was like 5 years, which is
You are a
insane.
historian. Look at you.
I mean, it's just insane, and we could not have done it without them. We needed the cheap labor, and they came to work, and they would send money back home because that was something that they needed to do. And so we bring them here. A lot of Americans brought the Chinese here on an agreement that they would pay for their ride to the U.S., but then whoever they brought over would then owe them a debt for the cost of the bringing them over.
Oh, interesting.
So in some aspects, you have like indentured servitude, right?
Yeah.
And so we bring them all here. They also wanted to come to explore during the gold rush. That was a huge thing that brought Chinese to the U.S. All right. So they're here, but what happens? Wages are scarce. There's a lot of job loss. And the Chinese are willing to work for lower wages. This at one point triggered the North Adams strike of 1870. This happened in Massachusetts when white laborers went on strike because of the low wages and, the poor working conditions and whatever. And the factory owner replaced them with Chinese laborers. This news spread panic across the U.S., which then meant the Chinese started to become villainized, right? Xenophobia starts to spread. Americans are attacking the Chinese culture and its threat to white culture and white culture's purity. Politicians then, obviously, as they do, see an opportunity to garner votes by promising to crack down on the Chinese immigration problem.
What's that line? Never waste a good crisis.
Right.
Never waste a good crisis.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they did what they did best. And this was horrible. During this time, all Asians were thought of and treated as you would expect, just so poorly, inhumane. There were physical abuses and lynches and just straight destruction of their homes, their entire neighborhoods, their businesses.
When you can also see it through the movies and theaters and, kind of pop culture at that time that, just the horrible personifications of several groups of people, but that one in particular is always, whenever I see something from old movies, I'm like, God, how is that okay?
How is it okay?
Yeah.
And the reason why people got away with this is that there were they didn't have any legal protections. So there were no repercussions for the white Americans who were committing these atrocities, right? These oppressors just got away with murder, literally. It was a horrible, horrible time.
But at the same time,
meanwhile, literally smack dab in the middle of this horrific time for the Chinese population, in 1922, Americans are discovering Mahjong.
yeah.
Yeah, woo. Okay, so picture this. Actually, you know what? Okay.
I want to talk.
Get
the book out, Christina.
I want to talk about this book here. So I've been getting a lot of my information from this fantastic book called Mahjong, A Chinese Game and the Making of Modern American Culture by Annalise Hines. This book is loaded. I have it on Audible. So she has the audio versions, and I've listened to it, I think, in its entirety there. And then I kind of jump around in the book depending on what I'm curious.
What you need.
But every
Got some bookmarks in there.
Yeah.
It's loved. But every time you read the book, you learn something new because it's just so jam-packed. She did an amazing job. Who is Annalise Annalise Hines. She is a professor of history at the University of Oregon with a focus in women's history and ethnicity and immigration and consumerism. So I'd say, yeah, she's definitely qualified.
Yeah.
She also lived in Southwest China, where she originally learned the original game of Mahjong, right? Okay, so I want to read you a little quote. I'm going to read you a couple of quotes, and I'm going to skip around a little bit. And Elizabeth, you actually added something that you wanted me to read in here.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So we're talking about, she says here, this is only on page 4 and 5, what I'm about to read right now. So just imagine how, like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So she says, its history connects American expatriates in Shanghai, Jazz Age white Americans, urban Chinese Americans in the 1930s, Japanese Americans in wartime camps, Jewish American suburban mothers in Air Force officers' wives in the post-war era. So I love that you wanted me to add that to it, because that is a huge generalization of
who was playing at the time.
Who all is playing at this time, right, and how differently people and why different people are connecting to it, right? She says the American story began in 1922 when newspapers on the West Coast started buzzing about the new old Chinese game. Unlike its marketing image as an ancient game, it had only recently become popular in a few urban centers in China after its development as one of the many male gambling games in the mid to late 1800s. So yes, when I learned and when I started teaching, I was like, this is an ancient Chinese game. I mean, and so I'm so glad that I have learned so much more, because this is just one of the crappy marketing ploys that Joseph Babcock started to sort of increase the exoticism of the game and create a lore, for it. So she also says, soon, the most elite Americans, from President and First Lady Harding to Hollywood starlets, were playing it. Just 2 years after its introduction, Americans made Mahjong sets Shanghai's 6th largest export to the United States.
That is crazy to me.
That's a boom, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's
they
wild.
They couldn't keep it on the shelves.
Yeah.
It exploded.
Well, and you and I have talked about this too. My background is in architecture and stuff like that. And at the same time, it was also, they were ramping up production for tiles, but also furniture and, prints. And it was there was a lot of things that were very coveted by the upper echelons of society in Chinese culture while this was all going on. It's just really so ironic and fascinating to me.
She says Mahjong exploded into American consciousness at the height of immigration restrictions, nativism, and the mainstream national revival of the KKK. The irony of its popularity illuminates the complexities of consumerism, race, and the wary embrace of selective aspects of Chinese culture.
Yep.
I'm going to skip around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Isn't
Marsha
that
likes
right?
that. Yeah.
Listen, this book is fantastic. She says, also, in an era of pervasive xenophobia, why did this Chinese game achieve such widespread resonance?
Right.
Yeah, what the heck?
I know.
It's like, we want you out of our country.
But leave this. We like this part.
But this we're going to.
But it wasn't just that.
Celebrate.
It was like there were several aspects of
Listen to
the
this.
exotic, faraway lands.
Yeah.
It's
This is important. Advertisers promised that it would provide players with an experience of ancient Eastern mystery, modern cosmopolitanism, and Jazz Age glamour. Society pages featured Mahjong matrons dressed in Chinese costume, from club women in Los Angeles to the Vanderbilts in Manhattan. Even small Mahjong parties allowed for experimentation in costume and exotic food. I mean, so what, we're going to cosplay your culture, basically.
Right.
But we are going to...
You can't come here.
Oh, my gosh. Disgusting. But imagine being...
It's a different time. It's
I mean,
we're not here to judge this. Of course, we wish it had happened differently.
But this is a brutal history for Chinese people in America at this time.
And we do need to understand
Chinese people in general.
the convergence of these two things.
Right? Watching this game that has a certain value and meaning to you from your country coming and exploited by the same people who are making your life a living hell and treating you as less than human.
Right.
That's not easy for anybody, no matter what culture you would be from, for that to happen.
Right.
And that potentially sets a tone, right? It's good to know the history and the background of these things.
Well said.
Because now we can understand maybe where people are coming from, where their sentiments are coming from. And understanding history helps us in so many aspects, but also let's do better.
Let's move forward.
Let's move forward, but let's do it better this time.
Yeah.
Okay. There is another quote that I want to read to you really quick because I know that we are just drawing this episode out. This one is, she says, this is on page 84 of her book, in October of 1923. Oh, we're back to Babcock. Okay, hold on. Let me preface this quote.
Yeah.
So when I said we were going to talk about his marketing a little bit more, when he first marketed the game, it was this ancient Chinese game and he played up the exoticism.
But
And
then
there was this
he got
rising
even more greedy.
Yeah, there was rising competition. Other people started producing the game, so he tried to solidify, I guess the
Himself,
authenticity or whatever of his game. Anyway, so in October, she says, in October of 1923, Babcock decided to adopt the bold strategy of attaching authenticity to himself, announcing that the game was in fact foreign in China, and he proclaimed himself to be the sole inventor of the game.
Oh, man.
Bad boy
Babcock. I know.
That's some bullshit. Yeah. So
That's
full-face lie.
Boy.
If that's not just full thievery, then I don't know what is.
Well, he didn't really get away with it, did he?
He did not get away with it. That didn't work. Nobody wanted his game. They wanted Mahjong, this, amazing, exotic Chinese game. So good for them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So there was that. There is just one more, and then I will wrap up.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
When was Monopoly created?
Ooh.
Like, was this,
I think
I feel like it was the 20s.
I think it was the late 20s and 30s, because it was a derivative of the
That's right.
Depression, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, obviously you look at America with consumerism and capitalism.
That's
and, Babcock being a businessman. I mean, think of who was traveling to China at that time, right? Only those who could really, really afford it.
Right.
And so, understandably, he's trying to make another buck, but that just goes back to the roots of this country in terms of capitalism at its core, right?
Yes,
Which
that's right.
I don't think. And again, this is just, from an outside perspective of not knowing too much about Mahjong, you can see, again, set up another angle with the culture clash between China and America with two different, kind of ethos, if you will, about the country and the society and the values.
Absolutely.
Whereas,
Right.
We like to put a lot of value on celebrities and all this,
Right.
And the
this stuff
value
that is-
clash is something that we're seeing with the game today.
Exactly.
Like what Americans value and American Mahjong kind of goes against what, the Chinese and Asian community values in the game.
It's a familial treasure. It's
Yeah.
like when you teach someone it's a gift, it's something, they
Right.
view the game as, it's more sacred. I don't have the right words, but and I feel like that can be a very disconnect between the American Mahjong, where we're just, but the reason we love American Mahjong so much is the same. We want to teach all of our friends and family because we love it and we love them and we want to do this with people we love. So the emphasis and again, the pull is the same, but
it's doing it with respect to the true history of the game and the culture from which it comes from, right?
Yeah.
If we can find a way to do that,
right,
and be respectful and appreciate the culture and the game for what it actually is.
And Mahjong is something that should bring everyone together the way it has for us and the way it has for many families, many cultures. many countries, my hope is that this will become a unifying game rather than a divisive game.
Yes.
Yeah. One last thread that I will just, that I'm seeing is more so of that sacred, angle, and kind of going with immaturity and maturity as a nation, right? I mean, we're celebrating our 250th, anniversary this summer, and
that tracks.
What is that to China and Chinese history and dynasties?
That's
right. And so I think that's where just their culture is so strong and embedded and has that foundation, whereas ours does to a little bit of a degree.
And we're
but
such a melting pot that we are pulling from so many.
Exactly. And so, they have that strong, nationalism, and so, in America, it's hard because there's not one unifying, it's a mixing pot, right?
Yeah.
So it is interesting in that aspect.
We're stealing everybody's traditions and cultures, and by stealing, that's who we are.
But as the world gets smaller through technology, through communication, at the end of the day, we're all going to be the same. We're all the same people, and I think thousands of years ahead, this will all be melded, and the whole world will be playing mahjong.
Yes.
Or just we can play with the AI robots.
Yeah.
No,
but kick my ass.
To wrap that up, I do. One note that I took down was acknowledge and evolve.
Yes.
Acknowledge the history, understand it, respect it, but you can evolve it to where you see fit based on your preferences, and you can make your own version. But if nobody wants to play it, that's fine. It's like that's the control. And then to your last point about we need to connect as a human race and not as a, divided nations and everything. And I think, with the Artemis project that, they just went up to the moon and, around it, when they look back at Earth, there's no country lines or anything, right? It's just one human race.
I loved that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's kind of the hope for humanity, right, in the future. And so, and I think Mahjong is an incredible game that connects people when we're so disconnected with social media. And I think that's why you're like,
Marshall,
listen,
you were teeing up episode 10 perfectly on a silver platter for us.
There we go.
You are.
But it's just, you're like, listen, we want to know, we want to understand, we want to respect, but we also want to share this game. And we want to do it the right way because we love spending time with the people that matter, and we want to do it in person, face to face. So yes, teach us
and
the
how
best
do we
way
do
to
it
go about it.
Respectfully. And that's why it's important when people are talking and they're speaking up and they all have something to say, it's time to just listen. It's not time to be defensive. It's like, okay, what's going on? And I think that's really important. And sometimes you don't hear what you want to hear. You may not like what you're hearing. And this is a lesson that kind of goes back. I was telling you earlier. So, I have a 9-year-old, and sometimes she'll get defensive when I'm just telling her something she doesn't like, hey, go brush your teeth or something. And she's like, stop yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm not yelling at you.
I just said something you didn't
just
like.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean
like every 5 minutes
I'm
in my life right now.
I know.
Yeah.
You have
go put your clothes on. No.
Yeah. And this is just history. This is just information of things that were happening. And no, we don't like to hear it. It's painful, and it's, we're not proud of it, but
it takes a maturity to be at that level and understand it and not.
But gosh, once you have that knowledge, then think of the things you can do and how much better you can move forward,
and how much more we can understand each other.
Yes.
And where people are coming from, where their pain is coming from, where their perspective is coming from, where their joy is coming from. When you have a fuller picture. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'm going to give one more quote.
Okay. One more quote.
Okay. On page 90, she says, and this just kind of like, kind of generalizes what was happening during this time. Accessing Chinese culture through consuming either mahjong or chop suey could remain largely relegated to superficial exoticism or sensory pleasures without any meaningful engagement with Chinese culture or individuals. So that's what was happening. And sadly so. Like I said, we're not proud of it.
Right.
And
there's instances of this in American history, worldwide history. We all, but that's again why we look at this, we reflect on it, and we try to make different choices with the same challenges that we will face now and in the future.
Yes.
Are we ready for tile tips?
Let's do
Okay,
it.
yes. Well, thank you everybody for
Oh wait,
hanging
no.
on
You
to
wanted
that.
to. You have a little follow up here.
I do.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no,
Go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So perhaps what we've learned today will help explain some of the conversations we see surrounding American Mahjong right now. Understanding context and history can help us approach these conversations with a little more empathy. Mahjong, after all, is about bringing people together.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically what I already said.
We already said that.
Yeah.
We're so smart.
Okay. I do want to just touch on really quick. We do have other episodes for this series coming up, and they
Yes.
won't be back to back. But some things that we can look forward to talking about is obviously more on Bad Boy Babcock. Americans outgrowing Babcock's oversimplified rules and creating their own, which then leads to
Yes.
the formation of other forms of mahjong. For example, the American Official Laws of Mahjong. Ever heard of that? Probably not. Also, the creation of Wright Patterson Mahjong by Air Force wives. And Mike, who's Mike? I'm sorry, Mark.
Your own
my husband, Mark, says
Renaming you.
that is the base where they took the aliens.
I was just about to say,
I was like-
Patterson.
yeah,
I think
Wright
that's
Patterson.
where the famous incident occurred where
my gosh.
have you guys watched the documentary yet? Age of
No,
Disclosure?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We're going to.
It's
well,
on my list.
Okay, non-spoiler though, there was a big incident that happened there.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was weird 'cause I just read that and I was
Yeah,
like,
Mark's
oh, wait.
ears perked up. He was like, "Did you say Wright Patterson?" I was like, "I did."
I got to get with Mark. We got to have a conversation.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We can't forget the origins of National Mahjong League. There's
Yep.
so much to unpack there.
That's definitely a whole
but
episode.
the
And
list goes on
you know
and
me,
on.
I'm just obsessed with the history of the tiles.
Oh,
So
yes. I mean,
wanna
the
do
history of
a
the tiles.
whole
And
situation
then we'll
on that.
branch out and talk about the history of Mahjong, in China itself.
Right.
And the way it spread just across
And the regional
world.
variations.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Is it still very popular over there right now?
Yes.
I mean,
Well, and I think it's also having a resurgence with the younger community, correct?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just fascinating that it's like, again, you have this 1920s boom here, and then you
Yeah.
also have a 2020s boom.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like
It is,
every
yeah.
100 years,
Every
stuff
100
is
years.
repeating.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
It was
know.
like, because
I
really,
noted
I heard
that.
about it during COVID.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what, you guys started to
think
get into it as
COVID
well.
Really
just
was a catalyst,
Right.
for sure.
And, these different forms of Mahjong are also blowing up. Like in our country, it's not just American Mahjong. I mean, people are playing. I've had people reach out to me and ask me if I can teach Ricci Mahjong. And,
Cool.
And I
Yes.
I wish I did. And
I
I
think in
will.
the bigger cities too, there's much more of a much more of a kind of Chinese mahjong scene. Again,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
it
It's
looks
huge.
really awesome. I want to go.
Another person I wanted to just name drop really quick. On Instagram, it's Common Ground Mahjong, and she
Love that name.
Yeah. They do a really good job at bringing to light a lot of what's happening with modern American Mahjong and why that's uncomfortable for some people. So
Right.
I meant to
and
say
I
that
also
earlier.
wanted to show Nicole Vong's book.
Oh yes, this is a fave.
It's a great, and she's just a doll. So
Yeah.
check her out as well. This is
Yeah.
a fantastic book.
And if you want to learn more about other versions of Mahjong, she's got a lot of that in there too. But yeah, she's great. That's just going to fall.
haha.
All
Look at
right,
me.
cool.
All right.
There was
All
one
right.
last thing I wanted to say,
Okay.
but the drink took it away. So
Oh, yeah.
it was a fleeting
Speaking
thought. It was
we
a
lost
fleeting
it?
thought. Yeah.
Well, we're not done. You can.
Okay,
keep
I'll try.
thinking.
I'll try
All right.
and
Okay.
try and grab it.
All right. Well, are you now? We ready for tile tips?
Let's do some towel tips.
Let's do
do it. Let's do it. Let's talk some actual mahjong play. American mahjong play. All right.
Yeah.
So today was heavy, so I wanted to lighten the load a
Let's
little
lighten
bit.
it up a
I
little
wanted
bit.
to bring it back
Yeah.
up. So I found easiest line on the 2026 American Mahjong card.
I need to know this
I know
line.
this, and I found a great pivot. So the easiest one, and you guys know this, it would be the consecutive runs and line or hand number 4.
Okay.
And we have got, it requires any 4 consecutive numbers in the pattern of pung pung, kong kong. It's flexible with jokers and very forgiving. And it has a pretty perfect pivot, in my opinion, back to up to line 2 or hand 2 in the consecutive runs.
Okay.
This one has the nested chow.
Yes.
It's also featuring some flowers, a Kong, and 3 number single run of the chow and then another Kong. So if you end up drawing kind of duplicates or you kind of fit that run in there and you can keep them as singles, then you can instantly pivot to that line, which uses the clean. Yeah. So
I like the second to the last as a pivot too.
Yes, exactly. And you can just eliminate one of the other numbers. Yeah. Totally. So I think,
a couple flowers in your pocket.
starting with that line, hand number 4, and then pivoting up or down, depending on what you get.
Pung, pung, kong, kong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I go for that hand.
Well, again, because you can't,
it's easy, it's clean, and it's got lots of great pivots.
Yes, it does. So keep that one on your radar when you've got
you.
consecutive stuff going on in your hand. I also have one more thing. We have had a couple of great responses for our code names.
Yeah, and let's start reading some.
Yes, we had, our episode, I think is number 4 or 5 with Bubby Fisher, and she had some great code names, and we asked our listeners to send in some of their own. And by code names, I mean just kind of fun little playful nicknames you can give the different hands of the card to help you remember. So, whatever works for you. But I got a few. And these are great. I think these are great. And certainly some that you and I would not have come up with. These are from Heather Tuck. So Heather, thank you so much for sending. She says, "Hey girls, love the podcast, but the best parts are the tips and strategy. Here's my take on some code names. The same line as your Puff Puff the Magic Dragon.
Which is the singles and pairs, the top line under singles and pairs. It's the north, east, west, south, and then 1D, 1D, 1D.
Thank you. Yes. And she says, but she's going a totally different direction.
One direction.
Oh, snap.
Mm-hmm. She says when her daughters were in middle school, her sister and her got them tickets to see One Direction in Nashville. It was the best concert ever. So fun. So I think big news, we're going to see 1D, 1D, 1D.
Big news, 1D, 1D, 1D.
Yeah.
She said, I love that, Heather.
I know. She says, I know it's not for everyone, but that's what she thought when she looked at the line.
I'll take it.
And then I think you're going to like this one.
Okay, tell me.
I know you watched Jimmy Fallon. So it says, have you ever seen the Jimmy Fallon. So she says the third line down on 2468. And says in that voice, ew, evens.
Ew, evens. I love it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect one.
I know. That was good.
I mean, done.
Yeah. All right. And then the last one she sends is the first lines of the Winds and Dragons section, the first hand. And the winds are all spread out. So it's clearly start spreading the news.
Ooh, yes.
Yep, like that.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Heather.
So what are we calling that one?
Then
start spreading the news.
You just have to sing it. You just have to sing.
That's the Frank? The Sinatra?
Yes, Sinatra, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she also gave us a shout out on the 1, 2, 3, 4, do, 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 and the treasure map. Yeah, those were great ones. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you very much. All right, Lord, we got that one done, dude. We
did
it.
Woo!
Okay.
Can we cheers?
Should we just finish these?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm doing better than you. Good. Okay. That's a mahjong for today's
you want me to
talk. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And until next time, may your tiles be lucky and your table always be welcoming.
That's right. Thank you for joining us. Love you. Bye.